off, turnovers jumps out of the box score, and so does West Virginia's second half shooting. Where do you think the game got away from you today?
Yeah, I think, well, first, West Virginia is obviously well coached, very physical, tough veteran team, and you could see that I think our guys gave effort, but I don't know if we quite matched the physicality. It was a little different for some of our new guys and didn't play well, but a couple costly turnovers. They capitalized on those, and then I thought they got into our paint at crucial times in the second half, whether it was off the bounce and we had to overhelp, and then they kick it for a big three in the corner, or just tough, offensive rebounds. Though they only had 8, they were keeping them alive. Then we had some trouble scoring.
Okay, Doug.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle hit a couple baskets, and then you brought Ty in. I don't know if it was for Kyle, but was it for ball handling, and what was?
Yeah, I thought, and we made a little bit of a run when we had Darius and Ty and London, our 3 probably best ball handlers, passers, and maybe move London a little off the ball and get some stuff in the middle. That was it. I thought, Kyle hit some good shots, and it got real physical, and I thought we needed a little more size and physicality, but I decided to go with the ball handling, almost 3 point guard types at times, and for a second I thought it was going to be good, and it was a fine line. With our personnel, I thought, well, should we had Jack in there? You second guess, you think about all the different rotations, Marielle, but it was a game that was a possession game, and then you look at our free throws, that was concerning too from the last game and this game. It was going to be hard fought, so you needed to capitalize every possession, and a breakdown to a turnover or like I said, missed free throws, those things really, you felt them late in the game.
Tony, obviously losing is disappointing, but with the young guys you have and how you're going to have to lean on them, how much can this be a benefit, and might you look at it as a great thing in a month?
I'll let you know in a month. I think, I told them we're seeking quality. We're trying to improve and be the best we can, and this is obviously not the end of the world, not the end of the year. You just learn from this, grow from this, and, I thought Mamadi gave us a good lift, good experiences certainly for Ty and Kyle to be in there, Jared being a second year. So we'll have to, you go against a team that's that physical and is that aggressive with their defense, it makes you understand how attentive you have to be offensively with the ball, blocking out defensively, and just ready, because they're going to not quit. And I think that's a lesson learned. Again, our effort was solid, but they were, of course, the aggressor, and their physicality showed.
Tony, you go up 17-6, I think 8 minutes into this. What did they do, or maybe what didn't you do there at the end of the first half to allow them to get back in it?
No, I thought we had a terrific start. We were swarming. We were good defensively. We were alive. We had energy, and they just kind of wore on us. I think a couple of crucial turnovers that led to breakaways, missing some free throws where maybe that lead could have stretched a little more, and they just, they're not going to go away. They just kept whittling away, and you knew every possession was going to be important, but I was disappointed in a couple of our careless turnovers that led to some baskets for them and a couple of offensive rebounds, but they wouldn't quit, and we knew that.
Jerry.
Tony, second straight game that you got hurt a little bit in the post. What can you do about that in terms of personnel or just schemes? Yeah,
again, at times we'll try to trap in the post. They were posting their 3-man at times too. He had a good game. He was real physical. We knew that. He's a matchup problem. We looked at the 4 guards, but we got to try to keep the ball in the paint first with our perimeter defense, but if it goes in, we have to be real good swarming and then rebounding. But that's, depends who we have out there personnel-wise. We've got different strengths on our team, and I've just got to do a better job of finding them.
Okay, Doug.
London a little off on the shooting today, had some turnovers, didn't have a lot of them, but had a couple.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristic turnovers.
Yeah, I thought
what did you see from him today?
The 4-man was on him, and I think he dribbled off his foot. Another time, I couldn't see if the guy tapped it or not, but I didn't, you're just so used to not seeing London turn the ball over. It's just not something that you're used to seeing. And again, that's, you're going to have to work in a game like that. You got to work to get open. That's their design, to try to wear you down. You got to work to bring it up. You're battling for real estate, and that does take its toll. He got a few good looks, hit 1 big 3, but hopefully we're a team that if one guy is off, our balance can help, and that wasn't the case tonight.
Jeff.
Darius was obviously solid as I look at the stat sheet scoring-wise, but the 14 turnovers, they were all pretty costly ones.
When you did break the press, were you hoping to be able to get more at the back end than you did? I think last year in the second
Yes.
half, a lot of times you got layups
We
or
did.
dunks.
Yeah, I think they might. I don't know if their pressures. Coach Williford kept saying, I think they have better defense this year. And the player that got ejected was having a good game, and so they did a heck of a job without him. But there was a little stretch in the second half where we caught, turned, and attacked and made some plays. And I don't know if we did that enough. We were a little cautious at times. So you always have to, if you can get a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, you do it. And if you can't, then you got to work to get some shots, and you're up against the shot clock.
Tony, obviously they're known for their press, but their half-court defense was very good today. I mean,
Right.
do they not get enough credit for that? How tough was it?
Of course, no, very physical. They challenge you to get open. When the ball does get to the paint or outside, they swarm, and they're so used to that in their full court, and they do it in the half court. And then they stay so continuous. Even if there's a breakdown, they're covering for each other, and they're used to scrambling from their full court press. That I thought in the half court it was hard, and they're playing on a shorter clock because you're getting into your offense if you don't score in transition, and you don't have as many, and they just really work. And absolutely, they were sound in the half court, and we had to work to get the looks.